All right, digestion it is. Now, if we look at this lake, all the stuff that lays around here, and we can agree this lake is not clear, has not clear water, but no wonder, look at all the stuff that's in the lake. Now let's take that as a metaphor for our own body, for our digestive system. Let's say that these are the toxins that get stranded somewhere in the body if we are consuming too much stuff that is not conducive to our being, and or we are not having proper liquid intake to help the body eliminate stuff. And it's not just liquid, we also need movement. We also need healthy organs to be able to process all this, many biochemical processes in the body. So you can eat as healthy as you want, but if your liver, if your stomach, if your long digestive tract is sluggish or is having low energy or has any issue, it cannot do its work properly. So it doesn't matter that you eat healthy, your body cannot process it. Once you hit a certain age, and that's very individual, some women 45, some 50, some even over 50, but at a certain point your inner organs cannot work them anymore the same as they used to, and specifically the liver, because the liver with our hormonal transition has a ton of work to do to process all the hormonal situation. And on top of that, if we are already sluggish, if we already had a bad diet for decades or already had digestive issues for a long time, it's gonna hit you harder, right? So the liver is one, I mean, every organ is important, but the liver is the one organ you wanna pamper, you wanna, hey Raven, stay, come. Hang on. It's funny how I was starting to film and I thought I'm just filming because it looked so beautiful, that swing back there that somebody made here at the wood lake where I'm sitting right now. And I was wondering, what shall we talk about? And then I saw her pooping and I thought, how important is that? In Ayurveda, we learn that you gotta poop up to 3 times per day. They say each time you eat, whatever you had eaten before has to be out. So if you have 3 meals, you have to have 3 times stool. Now, how many women out there do have that happening? Good girl. He's a good girl. Now, it also depends. If you know anything about Ayurveda, we have the 3 doshas, the Vata, Pitta, Kapha types. If you are a Vata type, your digestion is very variable. Once you have constipation, once you have diarrhea. If you are a Pitta type, you are prone to diarrhea because the Pitta types are very fiery, and when there is too much fire in the body just decides, you know what, let's get rid of some fire in form of diarrhea. And the Kapha type, if I'm talking now when they're unbalanced, when all these doshas, where all these types are balanced, everything is hunky-dory, right? So the Kapha type has tendency to constipation. Now, I once had a case of a woman that couldn't go for days. I mean, no matter what she took, what she drank, what she ate, it would just not pass. And you can imagine what happens in the body when it starts to clog up like this, because our intestines, according to Ayurveda, if your digestive fire, which is called Agni is the fire god in Ayurvedic tradition, and Agni is also the power, the fire of your digestive force. So if your flame, if your Agni is that little thingy bingy, you can imagine how hard it is to digest. And if it's really a good fire, then it doesn't actually matter what you eat, your body can deal with it. And that's also what I learned years ago in the 90s when I started to study Ayurveda, that once you have restored your digestive power, it doesn't matter what you eat. As long as your body can digest it, you can eat stones. Now, my approach is different. I think it does matter what you eat. You shall eat healthy. You should eat according to your dosha type. You shall eat according to your age. Like once you are over 50, let's say, with all the changes with the hormones in your body, that now there's not as much estrogen. Now your adrenals have to take over what your ovaries used to do. And now what is the base? Out of what is the body making what it's needed for this body to function properly? That's protein. So once you are in your 50s latest, you have to look into your diet. Do I have enough? And I mean healthy protein, not some bullshit cheap meat from I don't know where. And it doesn't need to be meat. I'm vegan. I've been vegan for over 30 years. So my protein comes in forms of lentils. There's so many different kinds of beans out there. And broccoli has, a portion of broccoli has more protein than a steak. Go figure. Praise the scientists who found that out, because it's amazing. It's absolutely, even my dog loves broccoli. I don't, but I eat it because I know it's good for me. So there are little things to pay attention to, the intake, to help your body through this change, to help your body, that all these new mechanisms that are needed to kick in because the old mechanism is no longer. There's a lot that you can do to help your body achieve that or do that. So one thing is liver. The liver needs to be detoxed and cleansed and looked after and pampered. Then make sure you go to the toilet every single day. I know 3 times for modern civilization is, stay here, Raven. Good girl. Is maybe a lot to ask, but in the beginning at least go once per day. And the more you look after your digestive system, the more it kicks in naturally. And also one thing is also, when you go to the toilet, and after number 2, you're cleaning. And let's be graphic, you look at your toilet paper and it's not clean. That's also a sign there is a digestive issue. According to Ayurveda, you go to the toilet, you do your business, and if everything works 100% properly, you don't even need toilet paper because there's nothing to clean. Now that's a high standard for our today's generation or today's civilization. Because let's be honest, all the stuff that we eat, who can say that all they eat is homemade, is naturally grown, is organic? My dog is gone again. Okay, stay there. Good girl. So each time you eat something, and we know how it is, emotional eating, or we're frustrated, we're angry, or we are whatever, it's pissed us off. After a certain age, when certain hormones are different, things piss us off easily. But do I each time grab the chocolate? Do I each time go for the ice cream? It's comforting food. Yes, we agree. But how many buckets of ice cream do I eat in a week? How many Snickers do I eat in a day? How many donuts do I need to have this emotional, comforting sensation? The more you ask yourself questions and the more you give yourself the answers, honest answers, and not sugar-coating anything, you come to the realization, okay, there is an issue in the tissue, or there is something with a certain emotion, or even if I eat salad, it feels like I'm bloated. So all these things that you observe, Makes sense to make a list. Note it down. What is it that is different now or that is new? So you have an overview over that list of, let's call them symptoms or discomforts. And on the day you decide, okay, I am gonna really take project me after 50 and go one by one and see what it is that I can do, then you get in touch and I shall help you to do that. Have a fabulous day. Oh, before I go, just to give you one very easy Ayurvedic thing to do, doesn't cost anything, is, maybe you've heard of it before, but it's the hot water. In Ayurveda, we never drink ice water. We never drink anything coming out of the fridge. And I know you're like, you grew up maybe in Northern America where it's the most normal thing to have your ice cubes in everything you drink, in summertime specifically. But remember the Agni, the flame. Each time you drink icy water or whatever ice cube drink, this flame gets smaller and smaller and smaller, or it gets smaller and then tries with all its might to be a big flame again, which creates more heat. And if we go into the desert where the Berbers live or the Tuareg, what do they drink? And they are living in the Sahara. They drink hot peppermint tea. Now, peppermint has the natural cooling effect in itself, just because it's born like that. So although it's a hot day, you drink hot water or hot peppermint tea. On the long term, it helps your body to cool down. If you drink ice cold stuff, it's doing the opposite effect. In the first moment, you think, oh yeah, that's cooling. But later on, not that, like a few minutes later, it's starting to fire up again to bring back this inner body temperature the way it should be. So that's even two things now. You got a peppermint, and the hot water means you're gonna boil. You're boiling water and put it in a thermos. And the point is not to drink a lot of this hot water, it's to constantly zip a little bit of as hot as you can drink. You don't want to, of course, burn your mouth, but as hot as it's possible for you, take a few zips every half an hour. And that's constantly going through your system, helping to clean out old stuff. Old stuff. And you know our intestines, they have like this, I have no idea what that word is in English. In German or in Latin, it's diverticle. So anyway, this long tube of intestines have a lot of little thingies where stuff can be stuck in there for decades. And once you really, hang on. Okay, dog is back. So once you really start the process going, you might look into the toilet, which is, by the way, another Ayurvedic rule. Once you've been on the toilet, look what came out of you, just to be on the safe side. I mean, you never know if you have parasites. You want to do something about that, right? So if you start that process with the hot water for, I don't know, let's say 2 weeks, every day, every half an hour, 2-3 really hot water sips, you allow your system to clean itself. You allow your intestine to clean itself. It's like a spring clean, right? I mean, when you go and clean your windows, normally you don't clean it with cold water. You also take hot water for better results, and that's the same thing with our intestines. Okay, let me know how that goes.